Here they are. I have Sean and his mom, Sandra. Welcome. Thank you all so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. How are you doing, Sean?
I'm doing fantastic.
That's awesome. And Sandra, you all are not in the same place, but you're doing all right.
Yeah. Thank you for having us on today.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Sean, you're on a hit reality show. Is it still on or is not? Is it?
It's not on now, but it's not. But I'm on the YouTube show. It's called The Sean Show.
But Sean, it's the reruns are on Amazon Prime.
That's cool. Now, this is a show called Born This Way from A&E, and it won an Emmy award-winning show. 4 Emmys. Wow. That is incredible. Sean, how did you get on a reality show? How did that happen?
Well, I started about when I do it's NNA casting, and it's like when I started to film, when I started flirting with a girl, and it says, "Hey, did you have a boyfriend?" But she said no, she has a boyfriend. I did think I'm great on that show.
He's exactly right. He was auditioning and he hit on the casting people. And I thought for sure that was the end of that, but they apparently liked it that he hit on them. So
oh, wow. That's awesome. And you're probably like, oh my gosh.
I was like, Sean, you don't do that. But apparently you do.
Well, hey man, whatever works. If that worked, I'm almost 99% sure that's not going to work for everyone though. But
definitely not.
That is cool. So were you nervous? And were you nervous, Mom? Were you either of you nervous the first day? You were nervous, weren't you? Were you nervous, Sean?
Not me, not always, because I love filming and I would love to be on TV, but I would love to try like new TV shows with no scripted.
Yeah, he likes the reality and he doesn't have to have a script.
So this reality show, though, is called Born This Way. I watched some of it. One of my favorites is when you got that tattoo. You got that tattoo. Where? Let me see. Oh, wow. That's so cool, man. And I know Mom was kind of okay, but Dad wasn't so much.
Nope.
Did Dad ever get over it? Did he just not really?
Actually, he has a little bit, but not too much.
Well, that's a big thing. It's a permanent thing. It's a thing. Did the tattoo hurt?
No, it's not.
No. I was just like, man, that is so cool. That is so cool.
Hey, Mom, do you want to get a tattoo?
No.
Mom doesn't.
I prefer to spend my money on other things like trips.
So you're no tattoos, no nothing.
No bumper stickers on this Ferrari.
Now you're also got your own business.
Yes,
that is wild. Yeah, and that's the shirt I ordered too. I love that shirt. That is so cool. That is exactly. I think that's probably the color I got too. I ordered that exact shirt. That is so cool. How did you start your own business? Did you say, "Hey, Mom, let's do a business"? And how did that start?
No, not like that kind of thing. When I said, "Hey, Mom, we need speech," it could happen. But when I said it could happen, you put it in a short. I got my own website that way when the whole started.
So to translate that, Sean was writing a keynote speech because he kept getting invited to do speeches, and he was dictating to me what he wanted to say, and he wanted to say, it could happen. And because in the way his speech starts off, he talks about his dreams and he believes they can happen. And then he talks about a dream he had and somebody who said, that's not going to happen. And then it happened. And then he says, that's what faith can do. So we get through the whole thing. And at the end, he goes, now we need shirts and hats and bags. And I'm like, oh. And so he wanted shirts that said it could happen. And that's what faith can do. So I thought, okay, well, that's 2 shirts. We can do that. And he kept coming up with ideas. And he's got 160 designs on his website now.
Wow. Yeah, I know. It's a really cool website. I mean, that's tons of designs on there. It's I was going through it and I'm like, man, here's the website. Everybody can go to this website, get you some shirts. There's plenty to choose from. It is really, I mean, there's something for everybody. Now, also on your website, does some of the money go towards something, if I remember right?
Yeah, Sean, you want to show him? You're working on him today. So, Sean, a dollar from every shirt goes to donating baby onesies to encourage new parents of babies with Down syndrome.
So cool.
And Sean, what do you include with the onesies?
Here, Julie. It's just Lido.
So you write a letter to the new parents telling them that their baby's going to be awesome, just like you.
Yep.
And so Sean gets applications, and that's okay.
This too.
So cool.
So that's wrapped around the onesies.
Cool.
So it's he gets applications from Down syndrome associations all over the country.
Okay.
And then, you know, he has a certain amount of money depending on his sales for the year. And then this year we were able to donate all the onesies thanks to a donation from our local Elks Club. They donated $1,000 to his program. So we were able to donate all the onesies that were requested. And so far he's close to 2,000 baby onesies donated over the last 5 years.
Wow, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Sandra, when he was born, like every person faces the diagnosis. Was yours prenatal or at birth? And tell us a little bit about that and how that went. Because I never really have heard yours.
It was okay. It wasn't as bad as a lot of people experiences. The pediatrician that delivered the diagnosis actually, because it was at birth, actually had a couple of patients with Down syndrome. And he goes, I've got a couple of patients with Down syndrome and they're doing really good. That was kind of it. Now the OB, who'd only been practicing for 3 years, left the hospital, went to her office and double checked the prenatal blood test that I had and came back to tell me that the blood test had a false negative, but it did show negative because she didn't want to make sure she wasn't in any malpractice situation. And I had seen the TV show Life Goes On. I'd watched every season up to that point. There was one more season after Sean was born that was on. And so I'd seen Chris Burke on Born This Way. And I was like, all right, so that's the kid God gave me. So it was a lot different experience. Then we go to an early intervention program, 14 days later, and they had like a parent discussion time moderated by a psychologist. And they're going around the room and one mom says, yeah, all I could think was, I just hoped my baby would die. And I'm like, oh,
wow,
different than me. So that's when I realized that most people don't just say, oh, this is the kid I got.
She said, what?
She said she wished her, at this point she was fine, but when her baby was first born, she hoped it would die.
Oh, wow. Okay. When it was first born. Wow.
Yeah. Cause she was shocked and
right.
Didn't want a kid with a disability. And, anyway, that's what, and that happened to me over and over again. We had friends that were pregnant and didn't tell anybody until after their amnio. And it's like, this must be a mission God's putting on my heart to to educate people that it's not the worst thing in the world to have Down syndrome.
Sean and Sandra, you two haven't had the easiest growing up either. You know, it wasn't the easiest to raise him as well, from what my understanding, because there was a hearing thing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Mom, I got it. I got a hearing loss because when I was a baby, with Mom, help me out here, please.
You were just born deaf in your right ear.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Sean's hearing loss. I mean, we were able to get the school to put speakers, it's called an FM system in the room. So there were speakers all around the room. And then his teacher had a microphone, so he would be able to hear her no matter where he was in the room. Because basically, if you're on his right side, that's he doesn't hear you that well. But if you're on his left side, he hears you just like normal. So that helped a lot. He was in regular education in elementary school and very successfully, fully included, was the most popular kid in the whole school. And then we went to intermediate school, and it was a complete opposite experience. And that was, for 7th and 8th grade, but we skipped 8th grade and went on to high school because I don't think Sean would have survived another year of the, basically the prejudice of the teachers. And so he went on to high school, and in high school, Sean was interested in everything. He ran for election for ASB, and the first year he lost. The second year he tried again, and the ASB director created a new rule that you had to be able to read fluently from a 10th grade text. So we were able to file a civil rights complaint because out of the 2,000 students in his school, 400 of them, that would be all of the freshmen that are in 9th grade, and all of the English language learners and other people with disabilities. There were about 400 students that would be ineligible to run for ASB. So this was a discriminating rule. So we actually won in a discrimination suit. Every school in the district had to be trained in disability history and disability law and disability rights. So we created a lot of advocacy in all the high schools, educating the students and the educators on what was, appropriate and allowed. Sean ran up against another wall. He wanted to be in the acting class, in the drama class, and be in plays. Drama teacher wouldn't allow him to go past drama 1. I have
a PowerPoint with the bass.
I'll explain that. So the teacher told me in a meeting, I have to spend my time with students who have actual opportunities in the entertainment industry. So after Born This Way won the Emmy for Outstanding Unstructured Reality, I sent him the press release and said, how many of your alumni are in Emmy Award-winning shows? He didn't reply, and I didn't expect him to. But so Sean tells this story in his keynote speech, and then he has this great picture of him kissing like a 400-pound sea bass through the aquarium window. And so he says, hey, drama teacher, say it, Sean.
Kiss my bass.
That's awesome. That had to be a little fulfilling.
Yeah. The best revenge is success.
Yes. Now you also don't you have a couple books or books wrote about you or something?
Yes. My mom wrote 3 books about me.
That's cool.
Right,
Mom? I
Mom?
got to look into getting them now, right? How do we find them? Are they on your website or?
They're on Amazon.
On Amazon? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put a link up to them if you'd like in the description. And
the first one was My Name is Sean and I Have Something to Share. It was a children's book that we would have the teacher read to the students and have the students take home with them So they understood what Sean's disabilities were. And in first grade, there were a couple of kids that were terrified of him. And I asked them, I said, is Sean bothering you? Or they go, well, he's cool and all that, but we just don't want to catch it. And so turns out between the ages of 4 and 8, kids think they can catch a disability from somebody else. So it's important to let them know that, no, this is something you're born with. It's not, you can't catch it like a cold. And it's normal, for typical kids to think that. So it's our job to educate them so they're not afraid, because when you're afraid, that's when you act inappropriate,
Right. And you're probably the most unafraid person out there, aren't you, Sean? You're a go-getter.
Yeah.
Sean, do you want to give any shout outs to anybody? Anybody particular?
Here's the person I want to meet.
Oh yeah, there's someone you want to meet? Who's that?
Yeah. It's Justin Bieber.
You'd like to meet Justin Bieber?
Yes.
Okay.
And Justin Timberlake.
And Justin Timberlake. Okay. Do you have any friends you want to say hi to?
I'm gonna say, hey. I can say hey to my acting class.
Okay, you got a big acting class?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Right, Mom?
Yeah, there's about 20 people in there.
That's cool. You say you're quite the ladies' man. When it kind of sounds like it, you're kind of proud of that.
Yeah, I am actually.
That kind of. How do you feel about that, Mom? When you hear him say he's a ladies' man?
Well, you have to understand the definition of a ladies' man for Sean. It basically means he likes ladies and not dudes.
Okay, gotcha.
Is a ladies' man somebody who has lots of girlfriends at the same time, Sean?
Yeah, like Mom, hold on. Like Justin Bieber and Justin Timberlake, Shawn Mendes, those people, because I'm acting like those people.
Oh, good Lord.
Mom.
Well, it didn't used to mean that. It used to mean that he liked girls, so I guess he knows what the real definition is now.
Oh, Mom, and that's what I'm feeling right now.
Okay.
So, what's some of your favorite things to do, Sean? Other than acting and being on a stage in front of. What is some of your favorite? Do you have any hobbies? Anything you do?
Yes, I do. I do improv. I take it to my friends, and I talk to my support staff, and I like movies. I like bowling, and also I love games.
You said improv. What do you mean by that?
I do improv on Monday nights.
So
is that like stand-up comedy, or what is that?
There's a local improv comedy school that he goes to.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So you live on your own?
Yes, I do.
You're happy about it.
And I have a roommate.
Okay.
His name is Brian.
Cool. What was that like for Mom, for him moving out? Was that scary?
Well, in California, we're really lucky. We've got great supports in place from our state. And services for people with disabilities in California are entitlements, so we don't have to wait for services. Yeah, Sean.
We have a staff.
Sean has staff.
Sean, it's called the Sean Squad.
Sean has the Sean Squad, so we get to hire his own staff in the program that he's in, which is called self-determination. And he, moving out. He's an only child, and we knew that he needed to be independent because we're not going to be here forever. And I had seen adults with Down syndrome and other disabilities, in their 40s and 50s, lose their parents and then have to move. So they've lived in usually the same house most of their lives or all of their lives. And now they're mourning their parents and they have to move at the same time. And the depression is debilitating. So if you're already living independently, then you're just mourning. You don't have to, do everything at the same time. So that was, and we have a plan, for Sean once we're gone. And so it was important to us that he become as independent as possible. How long have you lived on your own? Do you know how many years you've moved out since you moved out, Sean?
I don't remember.
It's almost 7.5 years.
Wow.
It'll be 8 years in August.
Wow. So
Yeah.
when you were 21, am I doing my math right? 22?
24. No, he was 22. You're right. 22.
Okay.
Yeah. And we were in the middle of filming Born This Way. I think
Okay.
it was season 2 that he moved out.
Okay. Sean, I've heard you want a big house and by the beach and this kind of stuff. But as far as anything else, your t-shirt business, you want it to keep growing, or do you want to do other things? What's some of those other things as far as business wise that you want to do besides maybe t-shirts and reality shows?
I'm gonna be a preschool teacher with kids with Down syndrome.
That would be cool. That would be really epic.
It is, and that really helped me to not use my anger with those people.
So, Sean, where do you work with kids right now?
At the Sunday church service.
So Sean volunteers in a Sunday school class at our church. And he's done that for 15 years.
Wow. That's amazing. That is really cool. That is really cool. And I bet you have a ball, don't you?
Yeah, Sean loves little kids. Where do you work now, Sean?
Mom, as a kid, I got it. Instead of asking me, I know. I work in a golf course.
You work at a golf course. Okay.
And I do maintenance.
What all does that involve?
Like trash, bathrooms, course, stuff like that.
Do you get to golf for free then?
Yes.
Do you like to play golf?
Yeah, I do. I play golf for Special Olympics.
That's cool. Does your mom and dad like to play golf, or do they?
Oh, yes, they do. But sometimes Mom play golf all the time. She play horrible. But now she's getting better and better every time. But she needs to practice.
Yes, golf takes a lot of practice, and you're right. I do play horrible. Because I don't have time to practice.
Right. What about Dad? Does he play golf?
Yes, he does.
So he gets to play golf for free because you work there, or not?
Well, Dad just retired, and he's about to start volunteering at the golf course, so he'll get free golf for that. So,
yep, he does.
That's cool. And Sean, have you ever been to Nashville, Tennessee?
No, I haven't, but I need
yes,
to.
you have.
Right.
You have?
You've been there twice.
Okay.
And you loved it. We went down to Broadway, and oh my gosh.
Oh yes, to Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee.
Here's my dream vacation, and that's called Atlantis Hotel.
In the Bahamas.
And that's my dream hotel.
That's cool. Tell me, what is some of any of your favorite movies out there right now, besides like the Born This Way? That's a reality show. But any movies recently that you really like that you've seen?
Here's a movie I love. It's Trolls with things like that. And Barbie.
Oh, Barbie. You seen that? You like that movie?
4 times.
4 times? Wow. That's cool. That's scary. What else do you want to tell anybody out there that, don't know much about Down syndrome?
Just be happy. Just be yourself. And when you love yourself, be yourself. Purpose is like to follow your dreams and your heart. Like to have new experience. I know it's scary at first. Just try your best. It's nothing possible to not be scared.
Absolutely. Down syndrome is not scary, and you don't look scary at all.
No.
You look cool. You look happy.
I am cool.
I remember the one thing that your mom Sandra said that really resonated with me, and I even played it on a little bit of the clip from Nothing Down on a video I made. I think you remember it, right, Sandra? Recently.
Yes.
When I hear the diagnosis stories from parents with a prenatal diagnosis and even a birth diagnosis, where the doctor is predicting the child's future, your child will never, your child won't, that makes me sick to my stomach. Nobody can predict the future of any child with Down syndrome or without Down syndrome.
And it's so true. I mean, you need to patent that phrase, coin that phrase. And it's resonated with a lot of people, I believe, no matter.
I mean, we all know adults who struggle, typical adults who struggle, maybe have drug addictions, or other addictions. And, you just can't predict anybody's future. That's
right.
No matter who they are.
Right. I remember one lady told me once that, anything can happen to anybody and suddenly you're disabled.
We are all a moment away from being disabled.
Mm-hmm.
Just be happy.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
And no more bullies.
That's right. That's right. You have any ideas of your own for a reality show?
Yeah, I do.
I had a feeling.
It's called Love in the Heart.
What's it about?
It's all about dating, relationships kind of thing, and it's something about no bullying and things like that.
So when Born This Way was canceled, I thought Sean was going to be devastated.
Oh.
And he didn't skip a beat. He said, okay, I'll do my own YouTube show. So Sean has his reality show, The Sean Show, where he basically has his staff and people film what he's doing day to day. He hasn't had any new episodes in a little while. And during the pandemic, he wasn't doing anything. So he started interviewing people. So he's got a few episodes there.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to look them up. I think I've subscribed to it. I think I've seen them. I hadn't watched them all, but I'll put a link to it in the description too. And you let us know when you get more shows on there, okay? We got to see some more, Sean.
That's good.
People need to follow you and me on YouTube, and we'll get some more followers, right?
About each other.
Yes.
Like over 1 billion, thousands of followers between me and John.
There you go. All right. Before we go, I'm going to show a trailer I made that is for my little short film here. And we'll just show that real quick and we'll be right back.
What if this was handled differently?
All right. Well, thank you both again. I appreciate it so much. And if y'all ever need anything at all, holler at me, okay?
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.